Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're working on Revell's 1983 Hurst Olds. Beautiful kit. It's a beautiful kit and a subject I love. Astute viewers will notice a glaring mistake right here, but that's okay. It's the way I wanted it. But this isn't what we're here to see today. No. This is what we're here to see. It's Revell's latest reissue in the trucks line of the 91 Ford F-350 Duallie pickup truck under the Revell name. This started life as a monogram kit. She's beautiful. 136 pieces. This is the big sister to the kit I've recently reviewed of the F-250. Here's a completed underside shot. I love the detail. Being that this is a newer reissue, we get some graphics in this one. It's for G&G Crane and Services. Pretty nice set of decals. Get a back window decal. Beautiful. Love those wide hips. Let's get on to some plastic, shall we? Of course, before we get to the plastic, we have to start with the paperwork. This time it's in book form. The last time was a big fold-out sheet. This has all of our parts listed and the part number for it. 2 pages worth. It would be nice to have, pictures of the trees to go with that. Of course, we have all of our building steps. And that goes through 15 pages. And then we get to the 16th and final page, and that's our decals. This is my all-time favorite kit. I've built dozens of these. Yes, dozens. Let's get on to some plastic. First up, in the first bag, the original issues of this kit were molded in red and charcoal. This newest release is just white. All white plastic. Now most of these parts will be identical to the F-250 that I reviewed. The only parts that will be different will be the wheels, the wheel backs, and the bed sides. Here we have those beautiful wide bed sides, dual fuel tanks. Everything on this kit still looks molded just as beautiful as the first kit I ever got. Revell does a beautiful job. The next bag, this will be our second of 2 bags of white plastic. We get some interior pieces. Here's our interior floor tub. Identical to the F-250. All the parts on this tree will be identical to the F-250. So if something doesn't show up very clear with this white plastic, you can go back and look at it in that video with the blue plastic. Here's our seat back. The same fine, very faint etchings on the back of the seat as well as the front. Here we have our sun visors again. These are our single wheel backs. You would only use 2 of these on this kit for the fronts. Again, we have our oil cooler, drive shaft, exhaust manifolds, steering column, steering wheel, fan, the engine cooling fan. This plate, this tree, we have our chassis plate. Molded in fuel tanks again. It's identical to the F-250. All the parts again on this tree will be identical to the F-250. Here we have our rear end housing. Again, like I said in the F-250 video, and I think I mentioned the dual wheels in that one, but there's this groove through the center. You have one locating pin that I always cut out because these break. They break right here at the leaf spring mounting point. It's very weak. Even when you glue the spring on there, it'll still always break there, especially with the dually version. So I put a steel rod into that center. You have to scrape out the locating pins for it to go in there, but you don't really need the pins to line that up anyway. That's a pretty easy part to line up. And you put that steel rod in there and it makes a huge difference. Here again we have our firewall, same as the F-250, identical parts. Like I said, there's only very few parts that are different between the two kits. Radiator core support. Our final white tree. Here we have our engine and transmission halves, cylinder heads, valve covers, belts and pulleys, distributor, power steering. We have our covers for our roll bar lights, air intake hose, tube, air intake box, radiator hose, front cover. We have our fan shroud over here. This is our upper intake for the throttle bodies, master cylinder, radiator hoses, air intake hoses from the air box to the throttle body. We have our intake manifold, leaf springs, same leaf springs as the F-250 kit. Here we have tie rods and our front suspension dual wishbone with the radius arms. We have the back of the air conditioning compressor here. We have our exhaust, 2-piece catalytic converter, the other back exhaust, 2-piece muffler. Here's our front shocks and springs, rear shocks, starter. Now onto the chrome. Again, the same tree, with the only difference being our wheels and our badges. Now those 8-lug dual wheels, our fronts and our 2 fronts and our 3 rears. One of these is a spare. We have our mirrors. These are our F-350 badges up here. Very tough to see. I'll turn them over so they're right side up. Very tough to see that. We have our grille and bumper, front bumper. Here we have our door handles, rear view mirror, tow ball. Cab clearance lights, we have 5 of those. Very finely done windshield wipers. Very delicate. Here we have our 2 exhaust tips. Our air conditioning compressor and alternator. Our rear bumper. Here's our rear bumper step. And then we have our roll bar parts, 3 pieces. And here's our taillights. That's it for the chrome. It's beautiful chrome, by the way. Here's our glass. I'm going to leave it in the bag. Just like identical to the F-250 kit, we get our front quarter windows, our rear quarter windows. Very hard to see in there. We have our rear window. It's a slider. Our windshield. And these have a guide around the edge to where it should be painted black for the seal. We have our headlights. Very nicely done etching. And our turn signals for the front grille. Paint those amber and they will look beautiful. Put my chrome back in the bag so it doesn't get scratched. And so any parts that may fall off stay with the bag. And we have our tail lights molded in red, clear red, with beautiful etchings. These look good either left bare on the back side because they go into a chrome housing, or you can paint them silver on the back side. Either way looks good. And now we have those round plastic things. We get 6 this time. But unlike the F-250, these have no sidewall markings. Otherwise they're the same tire. You know, some people don't like them for this kit. I think they look fine. It's only a 2-wheel drive. I love these kits because there's so many ways you can build them. I've done them with flatbeds, utility beds, stock pickup bed, wrecker beds, all kind of things. Here we have our decal sheet. We have our back window decal, our caution decals for the front and back bumpers, decals for the roll bar lights, a white and a black dash insert, we have our front grille emblem, our tailgate handle, various warning decals for the regular pickup truck, warning decals for the crane service, and then we have all of our custom decals. This is beautiful. I sure hope Revell doesn't stay out of business because I need more of these. And that's it for this kit. If you like, please leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Later.